Whoa, I have Kung Flu.
What is going on, everybody? It's me, Double A, here with a book that I'm not going to review. I want to talk about a film, but I thought to myself, like, should I show like a still image of the film while I talk over it, or maybe some choice scenes? I don't got time for that. So I've got this here sketchbook with selections from Al Williamson and Mark Schultz. Al Williamson notably did some Star Wars books in the 80s and mid 90s. Mark Schultz is an Eisner Award winner, and that's about all I know. But got this nifty little sketchbook. Look at that lizard. What a cutie. So chunky and slithery. And a pretty cool dinosaur, too. I like the way dinosaurs are drawn back before we knew better, back before we knew that they were just like basically vicious emus. you know, it's so tragic to have the mental image of a T-Rex with feathers in your head all the time. That's all I see when I close my eyes. When I go to sleep at night is a feathered T-Rex. Anyway, The Matrix Redundant Resurrections. The Matrix Every joke has been made about the title. The Matrix 4. The Life of Me. I can't remember the title. Is it, a film that undoes the red pill narrative of conservatives? No, it's not. Is it a good return to form for the Wachowskis? No, it's not. Is it a good movie? No, I don't think it is. But I think you can still get something out of it if you choose to watch it, though. I won't be watching it again. So the real story of this film is that there's one Wachowski sibling who did not want to make this film. But the twist is that's the Wachowski sibling that made the film. It is so clear to me that who is it? Crazy Hair Wachowski? I don't know their names. Uh, got into this film so they could make sure that they never made another one again. Neither of them. This is a pretty cool stance, although it doesn't look like, I don't know, is he standing on a beam? So the story, basically getting into it, it starts off with like that first scene in The Matrix where Trinity's being cornered by a bunch of cops and then she kind of kung fu's her way out of the situation. But the whole time there's this new character called Roger. I think it's Roger. And she's watching Trinity and going like, wait, no, something different is happening. Why is this different? And I mean, that might be the director setting the audience up for like, oh, you're going to get same but different. You're going to get, The Force Awakens Matrix style. Why haven't they made a porn parody called Dominatrix? That just popped into my head right now. Crack Pack. We need to assemble some funds and get the Dominatrix film started. So anyway, did I say Roger? I think it's Bugs. She's got really obnoxious blue hair when she's in the Matrix. Out of the Matrix, she looks pretty good. But anyway, she's like, oh, something different's happening here. I don't quite understand it. She comes across some agents who then see her, and she's like, oh, dang, tries to escape, and I'm just going to say it. The first black agent ever comes up and is like, yo, come into my secret room. He's the first black agent. There's no other, like, tan-skinned agent in all of the history of Matrix. So when I saw him, I was like, okay, all right, he's going to be a hero. That's fine. It's okay. It's fine. But he takes her in her room and he's like, I'm Morpheus. And, I'm sitting there like, no, you're not. That's a thing that characters in this film did, is they told me that they were a specific character. And I was like, no, you're not. But says, I'm Morpheus. And she's like, oh, wait, this is Neo's room. Turns out, oh my gosh, they're in a video game. And Neo is the game maker. Neo, turns out, oh, he made the 3 Matrix video games. That's right, the last three films were just video games invented by Neo. And folks, I'm going to be honest with you. When I heard that, I thought, okay, I can respect that, Wachowski. I can. If the rest of the film follows this, where it's just like some nutsy dude who made a video game, I would have almost appreciated that more. Oh, that was a pretty sweet tank, some battle damage. Look at that. Wow. So at this point in the film, the super meta really starts to come out. Like I said, if the rest of the film was a crazy man dealing with his mania and trying to like build a better video game, or I don't know, you could have taken it a couple different angles, could have been okay, but they went into the super meta part for like 20 minutes where the guy who later, again, a character calling himself a character that I refuse to believe, guy who calls himself Agent Smith says like, oh, guess what? Oh, our parent company, Warner Brothers, they're making us do another Matrix video game, a Matrix 4. Haha. Looks like you got to do it, or else they're just going to do it without you. Um, it's, I, I understand what the film's trying to do. I get it. And I guess I can appreciate that, but I don't enjoy it. you know? So Neo gets in a boardroom with a bunch of, like gamer bro types. They're not all gamer bros, but they're like, oh, dude, what we totally need is bunch of action and punching and bullet time. No, man, it's all about the intellectual side, the logic, the philosophy. Did you ever heard of Diogenes? It's so cool. If I hear one more philosophy nerd talk about Diogenes, I'm going to rip this freaking book in half. But anyway, at some point, Neo actually comes to meet Trinity at a cafeteria. And I gotta say, the stuff with Neo and Trinity, I loved it. Just about every minute of them together was really good. You get a nice feeling when you see actors on screen together and they actually kind of interact with each other in a way that's somewhat familiar. I don't remember them getting too touchy-feely in the original Matrix films, but there was always that slight connection, right? I mean, at least they didn't go the Han and Leia route where they're just like, hey, you got a haircut. Yeah. You got fat. Or whatever she said to Han Solo. Sorry, that was mean. Uh, um, so turns out that Neil Patrick Harris, right, is Neo's therapist, and he's telling Neo like, "Oh, okay, you're seeing visions again of the Matrix. Has the therapy been helping? Has the medication been helping? That's where we get the scene with all the blue pills." And Neo kind of feels himself go crazy through the creative process, which is really like the non-creative process. It's the sort of corporate, just mushy gruel that they feed to the masses. He's really just, I don't know, dissatisfied with that existence, and those parts of the film I can appreciate what they're doing. Again, doesn't make it good. So at some point, there's a big old office fight because Morpheus comes to Neo and he's like, yo, I'm Morpheus. Haha. You thought I would say something really cool and dramatic, but I didn't. Haha. Look, I'm going to punch this mirror and I go right through it. I hate that stuff, man. Like, I know the Wachowski, not the Wachowskis, the Wachowski, is trying to tell me, like, oh, you expect this thing to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm subverting expectations by actually not giving you what you want. It's like, okay, all right, fine, do it. Good job, but I don't like it. Anyway, big office fight. Agent Smith picks up a gun and is suddenly like, whoa, Mr. Anderson. And no, the dude looks like a tall hobbit. I can't see Agent Smith in that guy. I'm sorry. So anyway, eventually Neo does like join them. I forget the reason why. He just says, "Yeah, I'll join you." And, it's a big old kerfuffle. We're told about these new agents that aren't agents, but they're like actually programs that are programmed to act like people until they're activated, which is somewhat different from agents, because agents like take over people. These people are actually not people from the beginning. And that's kind of a cool concept. And they're like, oh, they're 10 times more deadly than agents. But nobody gets so much as a scratch as they're like, stuff is being blown up and they're traveling onto moving trains and stuff. Like, there's, I like, there, the where are the stakes? Where are the stakes? Somebody please die. Nobody dies in this film, except for my enthusiasm. um, this is pretty nice. Look at that lizard. It's pretty cool. I'm telling you, man, really good at drawing these lizards. Little octopus surfboard. Wonder if you can find something like that somewhere. So here's the part where I say, like, yeah, it's not undoing the whole red pill thing. The whole new Matrix, because it's a new Matrix, it's run by Neil Patrick Harris, right? Who's kind of keeping Neo in bondage by convincing him that he's crazy. Which, again, that's a pretty cool plot twist. I actually kind of thought that was neat. But I don't think those are nipples. I think I'm cool. What was I saying? Right. So the whole new Matrix is built on the power of love. Yes, and it's heterosexual love between a man and a woman. Right? A biological man and woman. That's what the new Matrix is built upon. Trinity and Neo have to be kept, like, physically close to each other, but also somewhat close to each other in the Matrix, so that they kind of get nice and close, and they're just about to connect, and then they get pulled back away. I don't know how that works. From what I remember from the Matrix, Neo was just kind of an anomaly. It's not like the Matrix was built on him. He was just kind of strange, and the code wasn't really prepared for him. And that's cool. I don't understand how you build a Matrix on love, and maybe they explained it, but I don't feel that they did a great job. So anyway, Neo goes to Io, where he and the team get berated by a character I frankly don't remember. I don't know where this lady came from, but she's here. She got the dreadlocks, and she's telling him, "Shape up, sir. Look at you. Everybody thought you were Jesus." And then, they just kind of didn't do too much. Like, really? I don't know. I feel like they did quite a bit in his name. I don't know. But anyway, there's this new alliance between robots and Neo. By the way, at this point, you might as well forget about Bugs. You can definitely forget about the other characters who I haven't even mentioned here, because they're just about that important. But Bugs has like one more story element here, and then you might as well forget about her. Don't know why I said Roger first. So they lock Neo up for being saved, I guess, in Io, which it's called Io, by the way. The place where all the people are, it's called Io. It can't be called Zion because, I don't know, religious stuff, I guess. I don't understand Io. Somebody explain Io to me. I'm sure I'm going to get a long comment about Io. But he gets put to jail, and then he gets broken out of jail, and then they have to go back to Io, and he gets basically almost put in jail again. It's like, what? Like, what is it with modern film putting in 15 to 30 minutes of, like, scene and development that has to be completely undone to bring them back to the same exact place so they can start again, but more together? I don't understand this trope. It needs to stop in the storytelling. Modern filmmakers, just take your characters from one place to another. All right? I'm getting really mad at this film. Like, honestly, Io, for all that it's built up to be, it might as well be like a foyer and a jail cell, because that's about all I saw, and it's about all I cared about. Meanwhile, this dreadlock lady is bad-mouthing Morpheus, being like, "Oh, he totally believed in you, and then you went up and died and stuff." Yeah, he died to preserve the peace. Goodness. But then there's a fight between robots, so then some robots side with the people, and there's some robot characters. Turns out Morpheus is just a program, right? I mean, kind of knew that in the beginning. He was in the video game. But he can also, like, become, I don't know, like a bunch of bath salts that form a person. That's what it looks like. Just these nanobots that coalesce to form a human being. Again, we get like a last scene with Trinity and Neo. Well, not the last scene, but towards the climax, Neo makes a deal with Neil Patrick Harris. He says, "Look, if Trinity takes the red pill, she comes with us, you leave us alone. She takes the blue pill, then you can take me." So Trinity takes the blue pill, basically, until her husband, oh man, the most important character, Her husband's name is Chad. Chad. So Chad comes in. He's like, Tiffany, come on, babe. And she's like, ugh, F Tiffany. I'm Trinity. And then she becomes red-pilled. And there's a lot of action. I forgot to talk about the action. Man, it is so cut up in this film. Like, there's no more than like 2 seconds of consecutive action for a majority of the film. Like I said, all of this meta stuff. You've got like a yelling, stinky Frenchman who's saying like, "They never make anything original. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Oh my goodness." Still no nipples. I think we're good. At some point, these these bots or whatever, they're like dive bombing out of a building to catch Neo and Trinity. And look, here's the scene that everybody talks about. Neo and Trinity jump off a building and Trinity starts flying. Okay, look. For people who, kind of get upset about it, I get it. But Neo's not the one. Now he's one of two. Okay? There's a matrix that's built around two people. Neo and Trinity, it's only natural that they both have powers. Like, frankly, that didn't bother me. Like, like some of the bones of this movie actually make up for something that could be pretty cool, but gosh, just kind of aggravating. And the most aggravating thing is, I think that's exactly what the Wachowski was trying to do. So, what's my recommendation? Dude, I don't know. See it if you want to. I wouldn't say pay for it in theaters. I can't imagine that seeing this in theaters would make the experience any better. Like, I saw Dune on my phone first, and I was like, all right, I got to see this in theaters. And that was totally worth it. But The Matrix, don't pay, you don't need to pay money for this. If you have HBO Max already, and you feel so inclined, go ahead and watch it. It'll pass in the afternoon. Maybe you'll enjoy it. Honestly, some people really enjoy it, and that's cool. You do you. For me, just plain frustrating. Bunch of characters pretending there's somebody they're not. Bunch of lackadaisical action. Too much meta. You done it, Wachowski. You done killed the Matrix. And I think that's what you were trying to do. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and be reviewing some comics pretty soon. I got a ton in recently. A ton. I got Veilwalker #1, which #2, it's up now. Got to make that campaign happen. Make #2 happen. We got Lions v. Dwarves coming out soon. I got Aerith in the mail recently. I got all sorts of good stuff, man. I got the stuff from Red Gaze. I got Infinitale. I'm going to be looking at a lot of things here. In the meantime, folks, you guys have a great time. Watch something worth the while. I think I'm going to review films that aren't big blockbustery things. Like, I was watching this film called Fantastic Planet. Holy moly. It's like if Monty Python if the Monty Python animator got real depressed, he would make this film. I kind of dig it. Anyway, peace, love, spread the joy of great comics out there, man. Take care.